Hello, my name is Cade Bengert with Ravencroft Guitars, and welcome to the Great Guitar Build-Off 2021. I'm not a natural presence on screen, so you're not going to see a whole lot of me, but hopefully you are going to enjoy my process of building this guitar and enjoy seeing my hands and what I'm building and less of my face. I have a face for radio, as they say. I am just recording in my garage, so sound is not going to be great for these intros. However, I will be doing voiceovers in a little bit more controlled environment, so hopefully you can put up with the audio as best you can. Right now, I'm not going to be building anything right away. I'm covered in sawdust because I just finished cutting out some templates, which I'm going to show you here in a second. I'm not going to include those in the video because they're templates. You're going to see the real thing. It's much more exciting. But I did just want to kind of go over what my plan for this build is going to be. So this is going to be the Pathfinder. It is my take on an explorer style body with a couple of cutaways obviously on the corners and on the bottom. And it's going to be a guitar and tabletop role-playing game themed guitar. Tabletop role-playing games, for those who aren't aware, are pen and paper role-playing games, much like Dungeons and Dragons. And the inspiration behind this comes from a podcast that I do with my friends, where we review different types of coffee and different systems within that genre of role-playing game. So, with that, the top here is going to be made of maple, and then the back I'm going to be casting resin and coffee beans to cover the whole back side of the guitar. I'm going to be using some copper D20, so 20-sided dice as my control knobs, and I'm going to be doing some black binding around the outside. I'm going to be staining the maple with coffee itself, and if nothing else, it'll smell good. And then black hardware for everything else. A couple of things that I've never tried before with this. I've never done binding before. I've never done resin casting with another material inside of it. I've done some just straight resin and pigment, but that'll be interesting. And I've never done custom knobs. Now that I think about it, I've actually never done a custom shape either. It's always been straight up a Les Paul or straight up a Telecaster, etc. So yeah, that'll be exciting. So that is the plan for the body. Also, this back wing, I forgot to mention, is going to be slanted back towards the player, just to make this a little bit more comfortable for the elbow, just to give it a little bit more rest. The neck is going to be your standard 24 3/4 inch scale. Again, cut off the corner on the top to kind of keep it in line with the rest of the body. Going to be, again, a maple neck, once again stained with coffee. The fretboard is going to be made of Chechen, also known as Caribbean rosewood. We're going to be using this beautiful piece that I got here. I'm super excited about this. This is all new for me. I've never made a neck. I've never made a fretboard. I've never done custom inlay, which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a D20 silhouette at the 12th fret, and then all of my fret markers are going to be copper tube, and then inside that copper tube, I'm going to be using ground coffee. Again, trying to tie it all together. And again, black hardware, black nut, all that jazz. So this is all going to be brand new to me, going to be a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to be binding the fretboard to match the rest of the body, just because that feels like a little too much for me as a first attempt. Might do some binding around the headstock, I'm undecided yet. I will not be doing coffee beans on the back of the headstock, just because I want to keep as much thickness and solid wood at the top for support as possible. I would really, really not want to break my first neck. Although I'm sure by the end of this process I'll want to break it. So that's basically the plan. I'm going to be filming all of the build process and then putting up the videos for you guys. At the beginning of each video, I'm going to do one of these intros. I'm hoping that it'll be warmer by the time I do the next one, because I do live in Western Canada. You can see my breath as I'm just in the garage with the overhead door open. But we just came out of a -50 cold snap, and it's finally warm enough that I can be out here and not be freezing my butt off. So hopefully we have nicer weather and I can do more of these. But I'm super excited for the whole build. Make sure that you're following along. Make sure you follow on YouTube. There's some snow falling off there. Apologize. And yeah, the video is going to be a little rough, but so is probably the build. So my goal for this is not to win. I know that I'm not going to win the competition side of things. There's some just phenomenally talented guitarists and guitar builders out there that I just don't have a hope of matching on my first attempt for a totally scratch build. But I'm excited to learn, and that's my goal. Every guitar should just be better than the previous one. So my hope for this one is that it's going to be better than my last one, and that I learned some new things, and that maybe making a neck is going to be a little less mystifying by the time we get around to it. So yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest of it, and follow on Instagram, all that jazz. Because as much as I don't think I'm gonna win, I do want some votes. So yeah, thanks so much, and hope you enjoy the rest. So the reason this square is orange is it actually belonged to my grandfather, my dad's father, and when he moved into the old folks' home, he managed to convince them to set up a wood shop in the basement so that he could still tinker and make little crafts and stuff. But he got frustrated because all the other old guys were stealing all of his tools. So in an act of defiance and to make sure that everybody knew, which tools were Nick's, he went around and spray painted all of them orange. And when he passed away, my dad got all of his tools. And then when my wife and I bought our first house here last year, my dad came by and gave me this and said, it's not the best square on the planet, but it was Grandpa's, so you gotta hold on to it. So yeah, so now I've got a very orange square, and I try to use it at least once with every project that needs a square, which is a lot of them. So thank you, Grandpa. It was at this moment that I realized something.
I'm not a smart man.
So it's currently 2 in the morning. I came down to do the second coat. And I've got some pretty serious leaking going on. It's been 8 hours. Still looks like there's a fair amount of resin in there. Yeah. Not really sure what I'm going to do about that one. But, let's figure something out, I guess. Fun times.